A BOX has arrived. I wonder what it could possibly be. Inside of that BOX is another BOX. And inside of that has a new pressure washer. It's a Campbell-Hausfeld 1800 PSI. And it's got a built-in hose reel and all kinds of stupid shit that you don't need. It's a model PW1835. And it probably is going to suck even worse than my old one. So we'll unbox it and see what happens. Well, there he is. I have put together a couple of pieces on it. You got to stick the handle in. Little crank for it, you know, so you can turn that. Wow, really needed that. And you have to put this thing in. It just slides down on it, and that attaches at the bottom with a Phillips screw and clips in the front. And then you just put that on. I got to tighten this up with a wrench a bit just to make sure, and I want to tighten that up as well. And then we're ready to give it a test. So that's about it for right now. I'll get it all hooked up. A preliminary test without power. I'm going to turn the water on. From what I've read, everybody says that that quick disconnect fitting, which isn't that quick of a disconnect at that, leaks. So let's turn the water on and we'll see if it leaks. A lot of people also said you could put Teflon tape on it, but I think really the reason it leaks is because people don't tighten it down far enough. I don't think it's leaking. Fancy shit. Now, there could be air there, so I'm going to purge that. Pull that out. Now again, I don't have power applied, so we're just going to get a lot of air and then water come out. It does spin. That's good. Makes an interesting sound. Wow, looks like it might actually fucking work. Stay parked a minute. I don't see no leaks. That's good. Alright. Cool. Let's get some power to it. Okay, power's applied. This has a GFCI plug, like most of them do. Even my old one had that 11-12 years ago. Still no leaks. That's impressive. So what I'm going to do, and this is not going to be easy because I only got two hands here, is I'm going to fire this with no power on, and then once I do that, I'm going to actually try to hold the camera with the monopod so you can see, and now I should be able to turn it on. We'll see. And it indeed has a universal motor, which sounds like shit. Not at all as cool as the old one, but it looks like it works. Let's see what happens when I shut it. Okay, let's try it again. Does that reek of China or what? Smells like China. Alright, the big test, of course, is if it fucking works on the pavement. So I'm going to go where we last had our old one die and see if I can continue on. Next thing I do is I cheat. I got my air line from my trusty Campbell-Hausfeld air compressor hooked up. This is a paint spray gun that I got from Harbor Freight like a while ago. It was like 20 bucks. It's filled with like Clorox outdoor bleach type kind of stuff and water. Shake it up and apply. Yeah. Just adjusted my mixture. That's a little better. Okay. That's it for a minute. We'll try this bitch out. Okay, here goes nothing. This has been here for 50 some odd years, so even 60 now, I think. Overall impression, meh. Meh. Just meh. Nothing too fantastic. 1800 my ass feels more like 1300. It is certainly not like my old one. But that's the way of the China. So unfortunately that's what it's going to have to be. I think my old Lance may actually fit this gun. My old Lance, actually the whole unit would fit the fitting there. Let's see if we can test out some other shit to hook up to it. No dice on that. Apparently these things are proprietary. You can tell the length on that. My old one, the little nipple at the end of it is longer, and the little ears on it are in a different place, so that doesn't fit. But it did come with another wand, so I'll hook that one up. I know that my old Lance gun should fit it, and I may end up using that just because I can. But let me get the other wand, we'll try it. Alright, this is the other wand. And this one you can dial in the pressure and all kinds of stuff. I have to make sure I have it locked in. That's the other thing I haven't quite figured out on this thing yet. How it locks in. Now it's locked. Alright. So you got the fan spray. Oh, that's going to do a lot. That really hurts. Ooh, ow. You know, and then you can dial the pressure in. Back this way, and you can go for like low pressure, and you can hear it scream out of fucking control and shit. You hear the China bog down. That's got to be good for something, I think. Gonna really clean, I'll tell you. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. So this was the stuff I was using in the paint sprayer. And you can use a pump-up sprayer, but I find that my arm gets tired doing that, so I just let everybody else do the fucking work for me. I mean, could hire somebody to do it, but that would actually cost money, so we'll do it the cheapest way. And overall, yeah, it works. Kind of meh. Not like my old one. This is my old one, or rather what's left of it. It's had a GFCI plug. What was nice about this is it had an induction motor with a huge capacitor on it, which is probably still charged, so don't want to really play with that. But yeah, this was it. Nice induction motor, and the only reason it died was because of poor everything else. You'll notice the crack in the case, and there's a separate little hole next to the big hole down there. That was additional mounts for the motor. This unit was made by Black Cat Products, MCM International. It was made in China, and you can see the date there, May 2002. I had it all this time. It worked great, but the biggest problem with it was the mount for the motor in the case. The motor would get so hot as you would use it that the plastic would distort. In turn, you can see the shaft on it right there. There was a fan on there, but the fan was plastic. The fan became distorted, the blades got screwed up on it. Then it wasn't cooling the motor anymore, and the motor started to get hotter and hotter, which then melted more of the case, and basically it ended up dying a fiery death like they said in the recall that it would. Not exactly, of course. I mean, it just sort of blew up a little bit. Smoke was coming out of it, and I just hit it with the hose, cool it down, and the motor failed open circuit. So that's that. The cap looks like it was still in reasonably good shape, and otherwise it worked. In fact, maybe it is a little knackered. I didn't even see, but whatever. It's a shame. It lasted all this time and it worked great, and it fucking sounded nice. I haven't decided if I'm actually going to take the motor and pump apart yet before junking it. I'm just been lazy about it, and it's freaking hot today. So anyway, c'est la vie. That's the end of the story with this one. But now I got this one. It is Campbell-Hausfeld, I'll give it that, but the little universal motor in it just doesn't have the torque that the induction motor provides, because the induction motor, basically when that starts, it runs at one speed. As soon as you put a load on an induction motor, a universal motor, think your vacuum cleaner, you know how it changes pitch. And this basically does the same thing, but kind of in reverse. As you try to pressurize the hose, it slows down, as you heard earlier. And when there's no pressure, it runs out of control. But that's just the way it works. Different design. It was probably cheaper, so they made it that way, and I paid roughly the same for this as I did for that. But I'll tell you what I wouldn't do to get that guy back, but there's no fixing it now. It's just totally knackered. I threw the rest of the parts away, and it's going to save the cord and probably take the motor apart just for shits. And that was about it. So that's the Campbell-Hausfeld 1800 PSI pressure washer. I experienced absolutely no leaks with the fitting on there. You just have to tighten it up good. And basically what I did is I put a little like thing you would use for like a jar, the rubber gripper thing, whatever you call it, around that, a pair of pliers, and just gave it maybe a quarter of a turn. And then this just stays loose like that to attach to the hose, so you can just screw it on like that. Still kind of a hokey design. You know, would have been better if they kind of put like a hose on it or something that made it more flexible, but that would have cost money. That costs about a penny to make, so. And it sold for $249 at Depot, something like that. Anyway, enough rambling. That's it. I'll just show you the job I did. This was already done with the old one, as was this flag, but of course it got dirty from other shit. And this is the old one too. I don't know why it's all splotchy. I just couldn't get rid of the splotches on it. And then here's what I did with the new one. Also splotchy. I don't know why. It couldn't really handle along the edge too terribly well. But then again, like I said, this shit has been here for 60 years, probably. So it's pretty filthy. And, well, maybe not even that long. This concrete may be newer than that, I just don't know. It's darker in this area because it's actually still damp there. But this is all dry, as is that. And just for the comparison of what I haven't done yet, it's right there. So, slowly but surely we'll progress on.